Good evening and welcome to EBN Weekend Edition. I do hope you had a fantastic Friday from wherever you are watching EBN Weekend Edition with me, Sami Adika. Well, welcome to the bulletin tonight, but remember to get in touch with us through our socials at EBN TV and at Sami Adika. Well, starting us off tonight, Deputy President Gachagua now says that the government is in no position to reduce the cost of fuel, noting that it is a worldwide issue. Speaking during the burial of Mau Mau freedom fighter Muthoni Kirima in Nyeri County, Gachagua stated that there is no difference between him and Trade CS Moses Kuria, noting that Kuria says things as they are. Gachagua, however, has called on Kenyans to exercise patience as the Kenya Kwanza government is working round the clock to reduce the cost of living. That specific report shall be coming your way in a few minutes from now, but still in the same event in Nyeri County, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has called on different political leaders to stop politicizing the ongoing bipartisan talks, noting that it is the only way to unite Kenyans by addressing pertinent issues that arise after every elections. Kalonzo called on Deputy President Gachagua to stop demeaning the seriousness of the talks, but rather help bring together leaders from Mount Kenya region and to support the talks.
Yes. As we speak, our country is divided in the middle. Mheshimiwa Governor Bandirisha, we are not in bombers at it to be managed. You can't manage Kalonzo. We are not here to be managed at waongee tu ndio sasa mkamue maziwa, whatever it is. I want you to know this is very serious business. Mheshimiwa Gachagua, you are reputed to speak the truth. I congratulate you. Lakini wakati mwingine ulienda Ukambani, ukaambia watu wenu huko, ni watu yenu, mambo yako. Na ukasema mmegawa nchi, Mheshimiwa Ruto atakuwa upande wa Luo Nyanza, na wewe utakuwa Ukambani, unakaribishwa sana. Huko ni nyumbani. Na mimi niruhusu niingie Nyeri, kwa sababu ni nyumbani. Tuongee kikamilifu mambo haya. On how to unite this nation. We have only this one nation. It pains me. Kumbuka Mheshimiwa, I think it is our sister from Naivasha. I think there's another one who's saying, I think it's a county women rep wa Murang'a. Huyu ananielewa vizuri. Anasema Kibaki did me a favor. Let me tell you, if there's one thing which is true, serikali ya Kibaki ilikuwa imeenda. Now I was not given in a silver platter at Kibaki has done me a favor. We discussed na tukawa, when I became the 10th vice president of our country, it was because we had to bring this nation together. Wakikuyu walikuwa na uwawa, mainly in the Rift Valley. Mimi nikapigilia kisu chini. Ilikuwa imewekwa hapa kwa Kibaki. Kumbukeni hayo. Ukweli wa Mungu.
Well, and still on matters talks, the National Dialogue Committee led by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah has today continued with its talks. Appearing before the committee, the Central Organization of Trade Unions, KOTU, now want the government to raise minimum wage to cushion workers against the high cost of living. Also, IEBC chairman, that is Hussein Marjan, has also noted that IEBC servers are ready for auditing.
So these results were being managed by the commissioners and the chairperson. And if you notice that there is no single time that you saw the commission secretary announcing results there. No single time. It was being done by the commissioners. And so mine is to ensure that the process is working and seamless. And finally, they take responsibility for the declaration of the results. So it's pure that is actually the commission who are actually in charge of the process.
So what do you say on the division finally, 4-3? Whom should we now believe if they were the ones doing it? I'm concerned with the application of Article 138 for the future.
Well, you know, the laws are there to be followed. just like, you know, you can be a Muslim, you can be a Christian, but you don't follow what is expected to be done. So people sometimes they don't follow what is expected of them. If you ask me at that particular point, because I was there when I was not there when the NSAC were there, but I was there when I now gave them the results, the final results for them to discuss. Immediately the one group saw the results, they said this difference is small. We can't allow that. Without any justification. I would have expected that if a commissioner is aggrieved and he wants justification for best results, he would say, for example, can we look at county these polling stations? We want you to confirm because there are complaints on the ground. Can we be assured that they were in accordance with the results of the polling station which is final? That one I never saw. And
now on matters security, Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has issued a shoot-to-kill order to any criminal who targets security officers engaged in the multi-agency operation against banditry in the northern part of the country. Speaking during the inauguration of GSU camp in Tiaty sub-county, Baringo County, Kindiki noted that the government is set to establish more GSU camps in Baringo and other banditry-prone areas to end the historic attacks that have delayed development in the region.
For us to end cattle rustling and livestock rustling, we are using the strategy first of preventing rustling. And that is why we gazetted some parts of this county as disturbed and dangerous areas, because we realized for us to prevent rustling, these areas must be out of bounds for members of the public because they were being used by criminals to hide there. I want to announce here today that those areas that we gazetted on the 13th of February 2023 as disturbed and dangerous, including the Silale Gorges and Silale Crater and all the other places that we gazetted, they still remain gazetted as disturbed and dangerous until a time when we have sustainable peace in this area. Our strategy is to prevent rustling. And number two, in the unlikely event that cattle rustlers succeed, we must recover all the stolen livestock. And we have instructed members of national government administration who are working here together with our police officers to ensure that no livestock rustling takes place. And when it happens, we must be able to recover the livestock.
Well, still on matters peace talk, Baragoi residents in Samburu North early on Friday participated in a 5-kilometer peace walk to mark World Peace Day. For 3 decades now, Baragoi has been the center of attacks that have left many dead, and for a year now, the residents have enjoyed peace. National Cohesion and Integration Commission NCIC Chairperson Dr. Samuel Kobia has noted that there is a motion in Parliament that seeks to punish those inciting violence between communities.
Naona pia waheshimiwa wa Elbarta Ward pamoja na mheshimiwa
sehemu ya Baragoi ilikuwa kati ya sehemu zimepatikana sana na ukosefu wa usalama, na tumepoteza watu wengi sana. Tumepoteza mali, biashara za watu zimeharibika, na tukiangalia watu wale wamekaa leo, mimi nimeona picha nzuri sana. Na wakati wa Baragoi ni sehemu ambayo jamii mbili wameishi hapa tangu kuumbwa kwa ulimwengu. Wasamburu wamekuwa hapa na Waturkana wamekuwa hapa. Lakini leo tumeenda milestone ambayo ni mzuri. Tunashukuru Mungu kwa ajili ya ile kazi ambayo Mungu ameweza kurudisha amani katika Baragoi.
Vita hii upande ya Baragoi ya bunduki imekuwa karibu saizi miaka 30. Na kusema ukweli tangu saizi mwaka moja hivi imepita, tumepata nafasi ya kwenda kuingia ndani ya watu wetu kuwaongelesha na support ya NCIC na wahifadhi wengine wengi sana.
Mimi yangu ni kuuliza serikali, sababu ukosefu kubwa ya sehemu hii imekuwa ni uwekezaji ya rasilimali dhabiti, ili watu wasiwe tu wanakimbia hapa na pale wakiwa na silaha wakipigana na wakitafuta mifugo.
Well, the Kenya Bankers Association and the Federation of Public Transport Operators have today expressed their support for the introduction of the unique personal identifier Maisha Card. The stakeholders have stated that the new digital identification numbers will enhance service delivery in health, business, transport and other sectors. Immigration PS Julius Bitok is currently leading public participation before the government launches a registration of the third generation identification cards on September 29, 2023.
Look at what is happening all over the world. Like for example, the last case, Monday this week, Nigeria was able to adopt the digital identity. So as Kenya, we are actually on the right course to ensure that our people are able to enjoy more services. The government is able to provide accurate identity, secure identity, trustworthy identity that is inclusive. Because this whole idea is revolutionary, because the issues of exclusivity which have been there before will be able to be eliminated by this project.
We don't want to continue remaining behind, yet everybody around us and around the region has moved on. We don't have a choice. We have to move to the next level. For us who operate within the public transport sector, I think we like this because, one, at least it is going to check on our driver behavior. We are going to know our drivers where they are. And the idea that we are linking this with the NTSA is very, very good.
Majority of us in the banking fraternity in Kenya, we would want to mimic what the world is doing, and we are interested in seeing the success of this. Yes, as partners in this, we are open. We will be giving our memorandums, and we also urge Kenyans to come on board and give initiatives that would make this project a success.
And the Kenya National Union of Nurses and National Nurses Association of Kenya leadership is defending Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital leadership after Attorney General Justin Muturi's remarks on the eligibility of leadership. The National Nurses President Collins Otieno has defended Ahmed Dagane, stating that he is a competent nurse capable of leading the institution. Well, this comes after the AG told the Parliamentary Public Investment Committee on Wednesday that KUTRH Hospital CEO should be led by a medical doctor and not a nurse. The nurses are now demanding an apology from the Attorney General, noting that there is need to respect nurses and midwives for the role they play in serving Kenyans.
The emerging occurrence at KUTRH aimed at sacking the CEO because he is a nurse and not a doctor is not only a loss and shame to the individual CEO, Mr. Dagane, but also to all nurses in Kenya and globally. It is a big shame to all non-doctors health workers. It portrays the inherent nature of how our leaders view nurses and midwives.
Anybody, any leader who will profile, demean and embarrass nurses, we will profile you and your families. And you know what we mean by profiling? We are not joking here. You cannot be a leader. We have elected you. We have entrusted you to protect our rights. Then you are the one saying, how can a hospital like this be managed by a nurse? What do you mean asking by a nurse? If the healthcare system in Kenya has collapsed, it has collapsed under whose?
And Dishina County program has received endorsement from many non-governmental organizations. Speaking in Mlango Kubwa area in Mathare, Nairobi, Mind Your Community organization leaders have lauded the move initiated by Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja and urged Kenyans to join hands in supporting such initiatives that seeks to keep school-going children in schools.
Tuko hapa Mathare kupatia watoto wa primary school chakula, tukiambatana na hii maneno ambayo Nairobi County imetuanzishia kupatia public schools chakula. Watoto wengi katika mtaani ama hizi mamitaa hawapatagi chakula. So tumepatana na wageni kutoka Amerika ambao wamekuja hapa
ili tushikane pamoja tuweze kupatia si zile tu shule ambazo Nairobi County inapatia public, lakini tufikishe chakula kwa informal schools.
And we are trying to make sure that everybody, every child has a smile on their face. We do this most of the times by the help of Mind Your Community and in partnerships with other organizations.
I feel it's very important for people to come out here and to help provide food to those who have a hard time getting food.
I understand there's a feeding program for primary schools or schools generally by the government, and we are happy to help add on to that part with our private donations.
And following lack of employment in the country, the youth have been urged to consider joining vocational training institutions and be co-creators of employment. Speaking during the launch of Trident Vocational Training Center in Isinya, Kajiado County, Devshi Kirai has noted that investors are currently moving to Kajiado County and it's time for the youth in the county to gain knowledge before acquiring the available employment.
Wakati nilikuja nikapata kuna Trident Plumbers, nikaweza kulearn mingi. Alafu Trident wakanipatia chance ya kujijua. Wanakupatia chance ya kufanya hadi kazi kwa workshop. Unaweza kulearn different things. Alafu wanakusaidia, unaweza kupata hiyo time ya wewe mwenyewe unajijenga kikazi na pia kimaisha.
Changamoto nilikuwa napitia kabla sijasoma, ya kwanza ilikuwa ni kwamba sikuwa naweza kuidentify tools, hata materials, hata singeweza kujidentify mimi mwenyewe kama plumber. Currently, white collar job zimepungua. Kama youth, at least unastahili utafute kitu kingine yenye inaweza kupatia pesa kuliko ile ya pesa mingi. Hii pesa kidogo kidogo tunapata kama kazi za technique pia zinasaidia.
Nilipokuwa nikizunguka niliona kwamba the capacity of 120 students ambayo watakuwa absorbed katika college hii, na mimi kama area MCA wa hapa nitawahakikishia kwamba nitashika mkono hata kama ni basari scholarship, tuhakikishe kwamba watoto wetu wataweza kusoma hapa.
Every time we need a new plumbers, and the plumbers is a big shortage in the market. So we started training ourselves, and then from there we said, okay, the demands are high. That's why we started.
Now still in Kajiado, Kajiado Court has issued an order that PCA Kitengela Township Church be demolished in a case between Export Processing Zone EPZ Authority and PCA Justice MN Gisheru ruled that the land occupied by the Presbyterian Church of East Africa PCA in Kitengela, Kajiado County was acquired illegally and issued a directive for the church occupants to vacate in 30 days. PCA leadership has, however, vowed to appeal in defense of the 500 million Kenya shillings complex.
Kanisa moja ni hii, kuna mengine matano, na hili ndilo letu kumbwa, na tunajua tulifuata sheria wakati tulipata mahali hapa, lakini leo tumesikia lingine, lakini kwa sababu tunajua kuna sheria, tutafuata sheria kuona ya kwamba tunafuatilia ili mahali hapa paendelee na huduma yake.
Siku ya leo koti imeamua katika kesi ambayo tumekuwa na mvutano na EPZ, na kesi imeamuliwa ya kwamba EPZA ndio wenye hii mahala ambapo tumejenga kanisa letu ambalo ni la kisasa, ambapo tuko pia na shule ambayo iko na wanafunzi zaidi ya 1000. Tuko na mijengo ya hiyo shule hapa, na sasa uamuzi wa koti ni kwamba EPZA ndio wanamiliki hapa tuko, na kwa hivyo sasa tuko tu hapo sasa tujue what next.
And crossing over to central Kenya, police in Murang'a County seized counterfeit liquor and manufacturing equipment worth 1.5 million. Murang'a County Police Boss David Matthew noted that the liquor brands were found to have fake KRA and KEB stickers. The police now want members of the public to continue collaborating with them in a bid to eradicate illicit brew business in the country.
We have so many cartons here. Some of them are empty and others are full of those liquors that have been produced in a very haphazard way. I would like to bring this to the members of the public, that this alcohol that is being produced by this illegal factory here is likely to affect their health, and at the end of the day we are going to arrest the culprits and ensure that they are taken to court.
Well, Nakuru County government has begun an exercise to clear the drainage systems within the major roads in the county to reduce the impact of the expected El Nino rains set to begin in October, according to the Met Department. Nakuru County leadership says that the exercise is meant to ensure the county is prepared for the rains. The county residents living in flood-prone areas have been advised to relocate to higher lands for their safety.
And want to warn all Kenyans in Nakuru County, it is unacceptable na itakubalika ya kwamba utaenda intimidate maafisa wa serikali, utumie guns kufunga barabara na kuharibu njia za maji. Kuna grabbers ambao pia wamegrab shamba ambazo zinaweza kutumika kama drainage na sewage system na za stormwater drainage. Pia watatolewa na drainage na stormwater drainage zitatengenezwa.
Well, now on matters agriculture, coffee subsector stakeholders have called on the government to slow down the implementation of coffee reforms. The stakeholders have noted that there is need to address certain faults before implementing the reforms, failure to which the subsector will be largely affected. The stakeholders have also faulted the government for failing to involve them during the review of the coffee reforms, noting that it might force them to shut down, a move that will affect Kenyans depending on the subsector.
Me, I blame the government to have interfered with the private business. Why? Because you are the people to have made sure that these guys are not doing fake things. You have the law. You've read me the law here. You would have made sure that you follow the law to the letter. You don't just come up and say, they are cartels. They are stealing farmers.
When you call us cartel, we know what we have put in. Come on, if you want us out, pay us 200 billion. We move out. We don't even want farming anymore. We are not only leaders, we are producers. Okay, there are some who are just milling, do you understand? But we are producers. But look here, when you hold our investment like that, it is very painful.
The millers, they will tell you, yes, we have done investment. If you hear brokers say, okay, they also have license, they want to do business. The farmer said, oh, you know, we actually deliver our coffee to the millers and they need to be paid. Honestly, this discussion cannot continue. As we are waiting for reforms, something must be done between now and that time.
There has been an allegation that some of these partners have not been fair to each other. The stakeholders in this sector, the value chain players, some of them had advantage over another. And some of them are even claiming that others are cartels, others are gaining unfairly more than the rest. So this interplay and interrelationship has to be managed properly in the reforms which are.
Well, that right there marks the end of EBN Weekend Edition tonight. Many thanks for tuning in. Once again, my name is Samia Dika. Until tomorrow, do have a lovely night and remember to enjoy your weekend.